Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals. Alright, so today I'm going to be drinking Mellow corn whiskey for the first time, which cost me $20 for 750 milliliters, has an ABV of 50%, a proof of 100, was distilled in Kentucky, and was bottled in bond. Now, while the technical name for this whiskey right here is the Mellow Corn Kentucky Straight Corn Whiskey, it is actually not made with a blend of only corn, as the name would imply. Instead, the blend is that of a 80% corn, 12% rye, and 8% malted barley, which means it's not actually a straight corn whiskey, as much as I hate to say it. But nonetheless, I am looking forward to trying this bottle much more so than not, because I've heard some really good things about it online. I've heard that Mellow corn whiskey is a great budget choice, and as someone who really enjoys good quality budget items, well, this seems right up my alley. Will I end up enjoying Mellow corn whiskey based off this one experience at least, or will I not? Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out, that is for sure. I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and quickly cover the look of the bottle and packaging. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get the cap all off. I'm going to go ahead and take a smell of Mellow corn whiskey for the first time. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and pour some in my glass, go ahead and take a sip and find out just how good or just how bad Mellow corn whiskey is based off this one experience at least. And I'm going to find out whether it's something that I enjoy or not as well. As said, first off though, we've got to go over the packaging, which overall looks pretty dang good in my personal opinion. It is a very different look from the look of most whiskeys on the shelf today, and that is one of the things I love about it just so much. We can see the bottle itself is a pretty normal shape, nothing really particularly too special by any means, just thin up top, a little bit thicker on the bottom, and a very just straight line all the way down. No weird shapes going on or anything like that. We can see we get a twist off cap, a sign of the price of this whiskey, and right below the yellow cap we just get a little bit of a band going around the throat of the bottle, going around the thinner portion at the very top. We can see it's yellow up top with a green in the middle and then yellow on the bottom as well, and separating the three areas there is a gold line just right there and right there. Up top it just says Kentucky right there, all in black. Then under that on the green it just says 100 right there. Under that it just says 50% alcohol per volume, 100 proof. The 100 text itself is all in white with a black border going around it, and then under that on the yellow once again it just says finest right there. So Kentucky's finest 100 proof whiskey is basically what they're trying to say. If we go around the band just a little bit, we can see the barcode right there as well, along with a like Prop 65 alcohol government warning label and whatnot as well, along with it just telling you that if you put the bottle in the like cashback recycling things that some states have, you can get X amount of money back and whatnot. And yep, that's pretty much all that's going on with the look of the band itself. Taking a look at the look of the sticker on the front of the big portion of the bottle, we can see once again very much that of a yellow background with a little bit of green up top as well. On the green it just says bottled in bond right there. That's all in white text with a black border going all the way around it, and then under that in black it just says under U.S. government supervision. Bottled in bond is a like classification for a certain type of whiskey that is bottled in like line with certain stuff that was put through in legislation in like the late 1800s, I want to say. And not a lot of whiskey really goes through the whole sort of bottled and bond process anymore, but this one does, which is pretty cool if I do say so myself. And there are some pretty big enthusiasts of bottled in bond whiskeys, and so as such I'm thinking it's got to be pretty solid. This will actually be my first ever time drinking a bottled in bond whiskey, to my knowledge at least, so looking forward to finding out how this is due to that reason as well. I will acknowledge under the green green border, though, we get a gold line right there, and then under that, in a very nice, I'd have to say, mildly retro font, it just says Mellow Corn right there in a mildly stylized way. That text is all in red with a yellow drop shadow under it, and then under that there is a gold drop shadow as well, which definitely gives this a more three-dimensional look than not, and I think overall the Mellow Corn logo looks fantastic. Then to the side of the logo itself, we get a little bit of a coat of arms right there, just with like a knight's helmet on top, some sort of like laurels going down or something like that, some stars right there on a black background, and then on a red background it just says M as well. I'm assuming standing for Mellow Corn, although I don't know that for sure. Then in the middle we just get a barrel right there with a bunch of corn stalks with the corn still on it and whatnot kind of thing, really trying to imply that this is a heavy corn whiskey and that it has a lot of corn in it, even if it's not 100%. And to the other side in black, it just says 50% alcohol per volume, 100 proof right there. Then moving on, below the barrel, it just says Kentucky right there in a cursive in red. And then under that, it just says straight corn whiskey. So yes, this is the Mellow Corn Kentucky Straight Corn Whiskey. The straight corn whiskey text is all in black, and then under that in a thinner, smaller black text, it just says distilled and bottled by Heaven Hill Distilleries Inc., Louisville, Kentucky, DSP-KY 1, Bardstown, Kentucky, DSP, Kentucky 31. And then under that, it just says copyright 1945, registration U.S. Patent Office. And then there's another little bit of a number, 2405472. And yep, that's pretty much all that's going on with the design of the label itself. Overall, in my personal opinion, the design of Mellow Corn is absolutely something that looks fantastic. It's a little bit more of a retro look than not, and apparently the design of the bottle itself has not changed really all that much since its initial introduction back in, I want to say, the 1940s, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know too much about the history of Mellow Corn as a whiskey, so I very well could be wrong about the dates, but I do know that this design has not changed since at least the 1950s in any major way, shape, or form, and the current manufacturer of Mellow Corn whiskey say that they're not going to change the look of the bottle because it's just such a classic product. They want to keep it the same, and that's something I really like and admire, I will acknowledge. Overall, I'm a fan of the very distinct, eye-catching, mildly retro look of this bottle. I think it looks great, and I am a fan of this packaging. We can see on the bottle itself, it just says 750 milliliters right there. Is there really anything else going on? Just says 20 right there, has a little bit of a like horseshoe right there, and then there's just some dots right there as well. And yep, that's pretty much all that's going on with the, look of this bottle. I am also seeing some numbers over here though. Maybe this is like a, not sure if those are really showing up on camera, but they're there. I'm not sure if that's like the date code or if that's the like just case code or something like that kind of thing, but it just says B312222021. And yep, that's what it says, and that's the packaging overall. Looks great in my personal opinion. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this cork. This is not a cork, this is a cap. Let's go ahead and get this cap. Let's go ahead and get this cap all off, and let's go ahead and smell Mellow Corn whiskey for the very first time. If I can get this cap off, at least it is, well, not wanting to come off very nicely, I will acknowledge. But now that it is off, let's go ahead and take a smell. And overall, well, smells like whiskey. Smells like a predominantly corn whiskey, without a doubt. I have in the past tried an actual straight corn whiskey that was made with 100% corn, and this definitely smells more comparable to that than not, without a doubt. Not exactly the same. There's definitely some changes, I'm sure, going on due to the rye and malted barley, but smells really, really, really good overall, getting a very nice sort of creamy buttered corn smell. Definitely, yeah, very much a sort of grain, buttered corn, creamy smell in my personal opinion, with a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of caramel, And maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit of, maybe a little bit of, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But it smells great. It really does smell just so good. No sort of icky, additive, chemical sort of smells going on. Not that I was expecting that, but that's something to mention nonetheless. But yeah, smells really, really, really good if I do say so myself. I'd have to say, overall, the smell of the Mellow corn in the bottle is very much that of a creamy, sort of sweet, buttery, sort of grain corn-like smell with undertones of, I'd have to say, caramel, a little bit of, what was the other thing I mentioned? Yeah, caramel, yeah, cream, and I mentioned something else as well, but I can't remember what it is. But that's overall more so than not what the flavor, or not flavor, what the smell is actually like. Get my words a little bit jumbled up. I'm thinking I need some alcohol. So without further ado, let's go and pour myself a glass of Mellow corn whiskey for the first time. And let's find out just how it smells in the glass as well. Think just about that much should do. If I don't like it, worst case scenario, I can always pour some soda over top of it. No big deal by any means, although I am expecting to enjoy this whiskey, although I'm not sure if I will enjoy drinking it straight. We will find out though, but let's see what this stuff smells like in the glass itself. And overall, it definitely becomes a bit more potent once you actually put it in the glass. Some liquors, in my personal opinion, are more potent when you first open up the bottle, and some are more potent in the glass. I definitely have to say this is in the latter club. It's definitely got a more potent smell in the glass, and in the bottle, when I was smelling it, when it was unpoured, it definitely didn't really have all that much of an alcohol-y smell. It just smelled like really nice whiskey. It didn't really have a sort of alcohol tinge to the smell. Now I'd have to say it does. It is definitely more of a mild alcohol tinge than not, but it is certainly still there. But for a whiskey that cost me $20, which is a pretty dang good price in my personal opinion, it really doesn't smell all that much like liquor. It really doesn't have that much of an alcohol tinge to it. But yeah, I'd have to say overall the smell itself, besides getting a little bit more alcohol-y, has overall remained the same. Maybe not exactly the same because it is, of course, a little bit alcohol-y smelling now, but it's overall remained pretty similar to what it was in the past. And overall, I am still very much getting that of a, I'd have to say, sort of, yeah, sweeter than not, more buttery, creamy, corn grain-like smell than not, with undertones of, I'd have to say, caramel, and a little bit of, oh man, there's something else. I literally said it during the video, but now I can't remember what I said. What did I say? I cannot remember. Oh my goodness, caramel and, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what that was. I cannot remember though. Well, I'm sure I will remember once oh, caramel, there's a little bit of brown sugar. And still that other thing is just on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it smells good without a doubt. Just gonna think just for a moment, try to figure out what that smell really is. Yeah, I'd have to say, yeah. Sweet, creamy, buttery corn with caramel, cream, brown sugar, a little bit of molasses maybe. What is that other flavor? Smells good. Smells good. That's what I'm gonna leave off the smell portion of this video as. That's what the smell of this whiskey is in my personal opinion. There might be one other thing in there, but that's about what the smell is, I will acknowledge. I do think without further ado, it's time for me to go ahead and quickly grab myself a screenshot for the thumbnail of this video, and then I'm thinking I should probably go ahead and actually get to drinking. I'm just going to clean off my camera just real quick because we've got a little bit of a line going across, which is a little bit better now. And now, let's just go ahead and grab myself a thumbnail, if I possibly can. Oh, one thing I did forget to cover is the color of this. I will cover that in just a moment. I think I'm going to put my sunnies on as well. You know, got to be ballin'. Well, hopefully one of those will do as a screenshot for the thumbnail of this video. We will find out. I think without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put my camera down just a little bit, just so I can sit back, you know, get relaxed, get comfortable. And the color of this whiskey, which I forgot to cover, is very much that of a, I'd have to say, golden hue. It's got a very much that of a, yeah, I'd have to say light yellow golden hue. A little bit of amber going on, but nothing too significant. It's not quite dark enough to consider to be an amber golden, but there's a little bit of that nonetheless. In the bottle, it definitely comes across as being more of an amber light gold hue, but in the glass it is a bit lighter, so I'd have to say it's more of just a yellowish gold. Overall though, looks pretty delicious. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take the tiniest sip ever, and let's find out just how mellow corn whiskey actually is for the first time. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, I haven't drank any straight whiskey or straight liquor in a minute. It's been a moment, so that was a bit spicy. But overall, mouthfeel-wise, right off the bat, very, 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 very light, smooth, creamy mouthfeel. And taste-wise, I didn't take that big of a sip. And there's definitely some spice in the back of my throat, but I very much got that of a, I'd have to say, creamy, buttery, corn-like taste with a little bit of, I'd have to say, caramel, brown sugar, maybe a little bit of molasses. Yeah, very much tastes as it smells initially. There is definitely a bit of an alcohol tinge in there, without a doubt. But it's nothing insanely significant by any means. It's nothing too crazy. This is actually, I'd have to say, surprisingly smooth for being 20 bucks, frankly put. I wouldn't consider this stuff to be as smooth as something like, let's say, the Four Roses Small Batch, or as smooth as something like, let's say, the Buffalo Trace bourbon I've tried in the past. But definitely as smooth as the corn whiskey I've tried in the past, which the name is not coming to me off the top of my head, but definitely as smooth as that, and that was a little bit more expensive. And the taste from this whiskey is quite nice as well. Initially, at least, it is coming across as being a one-dimensional taste, but it's a nice taste nonetheless. And just right off the bat, I'm thinking, you know, soda pairings with this. I think Dr. Pepper would probably be ideal, frankly put. There's some liquors that I think pair best with Coca-Cola or Pepsi or root beer. This is one that I think pairs best with Dr. Pepper. And honestly, I think that's how I'm going to be drinking a lot of this bottle. I don't think I'm going to be drinking the entirety of this bottle just straight by any means. I'm not too much of a straight liquor drinker. I tend to mix it with soda quite a bit, but I do enjoy really getting the real taste of the liquor without the soda before I actually pour any with soda, just to know what the undertones of what I'm drinking are actually like and whatnot. And of course, that's exactly what I'm doing today. Yeah, overall though, not minding it. Not minding it by any means, I can confirm. definitely decent amount of spice. It comes across not as being that of a peppery spice, but more of a sort of creamy corn-like spice, interestingly enough. That's very much what the spice kind of comes across as. The alcohol sort of spice comes across as in the back of your throat. It's overall pretty nice. I certainly wouldn't say that you probably want to shot Mellow corn whiskey. I don't think that's something you'll want to do, frankly put. If you're gonna drink it straight, I think sipping on it slowly, as I am doing right now, is the best idea. This is certainly not a drink I'd want to shot, although there's not many drinks I'd want to shot either. I'm not really much of a shots type of person. The only thing I don't mind shotting is Rumplemints, which I only don't mind shotting because it's so smooth, because it tastes like menthol. But anything other than that, I don't like shotting. I'm not a shots person, I will acknowledge. If I'm sipping something straight, I'm sipping it, not shotting it. Mosquito landed on me and I was about to smack it, but I had my glass in my hand. Can't believe this, you know what I'm saying? I'm wearing my long sleeves today because while it's a little bit warmer out here than not, I don't want the mosquitoes to bite me all over my arms, so long sleeves to get protected, and so far it's working, except on everywhere where I'm not wearing long sleeves. I'm not protected, which is what it is. But taste-wise, am I really noticing anything new or different as I'm continuing to slowly sip away? Not really anything too insane or different, I will acknowledge. I'd have to say, if anything, the sort of caramel flavor is getting a little bit more intense. And I'd have to say that sort of brown sugar molasses flavor is getting a little bit more intense as well. So the corn-like flavor itself, that I'd definitely have to say that's overall the overarching sort of overtone. But that caramel and brown sugar molasses is definitely in there, and the more you sip on it, I think the more you notice it. It's an undertone at the very beginning, but it becomes almost level with the corn-like flavor as you continue sipping away. Overall, you know, for a $20 bottle of whiskey, which is pretty cheap for a, well, pretty legendary brand that is given really high marks online, you know, for $20, this stuff is really solid. And I think it's a great mixer. It's probably not something I'd really want to mix straight, or not mix straight, drink straight all the time. If I was to drink a bourbon or whiskey straight, I think I'd want the Four Roses or Buffalo Trace, in all honesty. But as far as mixers go, especially with Dr. Pepper, for 20 bucks, it's going to be hard to beat this, frankly put. And I'm thinking it's going to mix well with Dr. Pepper. If it actually does, then, you know, whenever I'm done with this bottle, I might pick up another just to mix with Dr. Pepper again, honestly. Just trying to breathe in and out. Try to get the good finish or aftertaste in my mouth, and just trying to figure out what the real taste is. Trying to notice everything I possibly can, I will acknowledge. Just thinking. Well, I'll be honest with you, it tastes like whiskey. It really does. That's nobody is surprised by that. It's a whiskey, of course it tastes like whiskey. Not a terribly big surprise. Tastes good though. Tastes good. I like it. I like the flavor. It's a bit rough for me, but it's not overall insane by any means. It's certainly still sippable, and if I had no mixer and I still wanted an alcoholic beverage, I'd be sipping on it like I am right now. It's not like vodka where I'd much rather just drink none at all than not have a mixer. Or then, yeah, if I didn't have a mixer, I'd much rather just drink no vodka at all, frankly put, because I dislike vodka just that much. I'm not really a big fan. I've drank it straight. I'm not a fan. But yeah. Overall, there's definitely smoother alcohol to drink straight out there, without a doubt. There's smoother whiskeys, smoother other alcohol in general to drink straight out there. And honestly, I don't really think the Mellow corn is designed to be drank straight. It's $20. I think it's meant to be mixed with stuff. made into an old-fashioned, mixed in with soda or something like that kind of thing. I really think that's what it's designed for. I don't think it's really meant to be drank straight. You certainly can if you want to, and it's not a bad experience if you do, but I don't think it's really designed for that reason. It is a bit rough. Granted, it's also 50% alcohol per volume, 100 proof, versus the 90 to 95 that I'm used to. But, yeah. Solid. Solid, without a doubt. I took a bit too big of a sip there. Too big of a sip, I will acknowledge. I think I'm going to leave it at that for drinking it straight, honestly. And I think I might try mixing in some Dr. Pepper. Because that, that was enough for me. Yeah, I would have to say the flavor of Mellow Corn Kentucky Straight Whiskey is very much that of a very nice, slightly rough, slightly spicy when you're actually sipping it. It's very much that of a very nice, slightly rough when you're sipping it, sort of creamy, buttery, corn grain-like flavor. And then under that, I'd have to say there is a caramel cream-like flavor with a little bit of vanilla. And then I'd have to say there's a brown sugar-like flavor. It's not quite as molassesy as I thought at the very beginning. I'd have to say it's more just brown sugar than anything. But there is a little bit of molasses in there as well. And is there really anything else I'm noticing? The spiciness is very much the corn-like sort of spiciness, I'd have to say. I think that's about all there is to the flavor. Overall, I haven't noticed the flavor really changing as I've been sipping, except for certain parts getting a little bit more intense than they were when I first took it. Excuse me. I haven't really noticed any flavors changing other than certain aspects of the flavor getting a little bit more intense as I continue sipping away, which is normal from a beverage, of course. But yeah, overall, my initial impressions of drinking Mellow Corn straight is that it's a very solid, high-quality whiskey that isn't something you might want to drink straight all the time kind of thing, but for 20 bucks, it's hard to beat. Like, it's really good quality whiskey for what it is. While I personally wouldn't want to drink it straight, I want to drink something a little bit smoother, probably something a little bit weaker. It is still a very good whiskey nonetheless, and is something that if I wanted to, I absolutely could drink straight again in the future and would drink straight again in the future, but it is something that I would probably much rather mix. I'd have to say Mellow Corn Kentucky Straight Corn Whiskey. It's a whiskey that personally I would want to mix into Dr. Pepper because I think it's going to be really good with Dr. Pepper. I think they're going to pair amazingly. But it is something you can absolutely drink straight as well. And I certainly have enjoyed drinking Mellow Corn straight today. Drinking Mellow Corn straight, I'm going to give it a very solid 3 out of 4. No complaints on my behalf about Mellow Corn, besides it being a little bit rough, and a little bit too rough for me, and that's about it. That's really the only complaint I have. It's a $20 bottle of whiskey that provides a nice flavor, a good flavor, nothing super insanely interesting by any means. It's a pretty flat flavor overall. It's not particularly dynamic, but it's a good flavor, and you can definitely enjoy drinking Mellow Corn straight if you want to, but personally, as I said, I think it's best as a mixer. Overall, my rating for the Mellow Corn Kentucky Straight Corn Whiskey is that of a 3 out of 4. That's my rating for it. And overall, I like it. I would absolutely buy a bottle again in the future for a mixer, but I don't even know how the Mellow Corn Straight Corn Whiskey actually is as a mixer yet. I've got to go get myself a can of Dr. Pepper and pour some in my glass to find out just how it actually is as a mixer. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and go grab a Dr. P, and we're going to find out how Mellow Corn is when mixed in with Dr. Pepper. Yes, sir. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, there, y'all. I went ahead and grabbed everything I need. I grabbed myself a can of Dr. P. I also grabbed myself a fork to stir up my drink with. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get the cap all off of my mellow corn once again, just like that. And let's go ahead and just pour a little bit more, I'm thinking. Not too much more by any means. Something like that, I'm thinking will do. We're not gonna do a super heavy alcoholic drink today because I'm already feeling... I bet y'all thought I was about to crash out, didn't you? I bet y'all thought I was about to crash out. I can't believe I just did that. Oh my God. I cannot believe I just did that. I'm like, it's not a big deal, but I cannot believe I just did that. I am real quick gonna go get a paper towel and I am gonna go wipe my hands off. But hey, now I know my hands are really clean because I just got some good high proof, alcohol on. I can't believe I did that though. That's too funny. I think that might be a sign I need to pour more in. Should I take that as a sign? Should I take that as a sign? I think the answer is yes. Pour more in. There we go. No complaints on my behalf. Pouring a weak drink today, but I'm not trying to get a super big buzz by any means. I've got no problem with drinking weak drinks. I just want to enjoy what I'm drinking. Well, without further ado, let's go and get my nice, crisp, cold can of Dr. Pete all opened up. We can see it is very nice, very cold. Let's draw a happy face on it real quick. There we go, just like that. Let's go ahead and get my can of Dr. Pete all opened up. And let's go ahead and pour it in, mix it up, and find out how mellow corn is as a whiskey mixer as well. Thinking that should be plenty. Let's go ahead and mix it up real quick. And let's give it a go. Let's find out just how mellow corn is when paired with Dr. Pepper. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. I like it. It's pretty solid. When mixed in with Dr. Pepper, it really gets super mild. It's really not particularly heavy by any means. Definitely with some other whiskeys I've tried with Dr. Pepper in the past, such as Four Roses Small Batch and Buffalo Trace, you can definitely still taste the spice of those bourbons and slash whiskeys through the Dr. Pepper without a doubt. But when you mix in mellow corn, no more spice, no more spice. However, even though the main taste of the drink is now Dr. Pepper, of course, the, 23 flavors or something like that kind of thing, the authentic blend of 23 flavors, that's what Dr. Pepper is advertised as being. Even though I've got the 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper on top of the taste of the mellow corn, I can still taste the mellow corn a little bit more so than not. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the undertones have been lost. I'm not really getting that super nice sort of brown sugar molasses taste anymore. It's that is coming more from the Dr. Pepper now, and the flavor of that sort of brown sugar has been overwhelmed by the flavor of the brown sugar from the Dr. Pepper kind of thing. But I am still nonetheless getting an undertone under the flavor of Dr. Pepper of, I'd have to say, a sort of mildly creamy, buttery corn flavor, no longer spicy at all, and I still feel like I can taste the undertones just a little bit. I still feel like I can taste the undertone of the caramel, and there are mosquitoes now swarming. They were not swarming me for like this entire video, and I was sitting out here for a little bit beforehand, but now they're swarming. But let's try to get them away real quick. Oh my goodness. What was I saying though? But yeah, I can still taste the undertones of the mellow corn flavor as well. I can taste the actual sort of creamy, buttery, corn-like flavor, just a little bit better than not. Of course, a little bit muddled, but I can still taste it. But I'm also able to get the caramel flavor, a little bit of cream, excuse me, a little bit of, I'd have to say, brown sugar molasses, even though it's mostly covered up by the Dr. Pepper flavor, and same with the caramel flavor, because Dr. Pepper definitely has a sort of caramel, sort of brown sugar molasses-like flavor to it already, and a little bit of cream as well kind of thing. But I can definitely tell the difference between what's going on with Dr. Pepper and what's going on with Mellow Corn. While the Dr. Pepper definitely covers up the flavor of the Mellow Corn more so than not, covers up the intricacies as well, I can actually still taste the Mellow Corn through the Dr. Pepper, even though I poured significantly more Dr. Pepper than Mellow Corn. Yeah, very interesting. And as said, unlike bourbons I've tried with Dr. Pepper in the past, the Mellow Corn really just smooths out so much when you mix it in with something. I honestly think the Mellow Corn could make a good whiskey soda. I might have to try making a whiskey soda with it in the future. I've never had a whiskey soda before. That's just like that's just like whiskey with club soda or just soda water, right? I've never had that before. I might have to try one of those in the future, because I actually think if adding extra liquid is smoothing it out to this extent, I think it's going to be pretty solid as a whiskey soda. I don't know that for a fact, but I think it might be. What I can say, though, is that the 50% alcohol is getting me buzzed. I got a nice buzz going right now. No complaints on my behalf. Overall, I don't mind drinking Mellow Corn straight. It's not my ideal whiskey to drink straight. I will acknowledge I'd much rather have something a little bit smoother with a little bit more of a dynamic flavor. But it is still solid nonetheless. For $20, for 750 milliliters, you can't beat Mellow Corn in my personal opinion. This is a great value for money whiskey, if you ask me, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you want to get a whiskey to drink straight for only $20, based on my limited knowledge, I think that this is a good choice. And if you're just looking for a whiskey to mix in with other stuff as well, I think the Mellow Corn is also a solid choice. I think it's a solid choice for both the scenarios. It's not something that I would really want to drink straight myself. As said, I drank it straight a little bit during today's video, enjoyed it, but got a little bit too much for me. I just had a little bit too big of a sip, and I was like, okay, no more. I didn't want to push myself to force myself to drink the rest of the glass straight. But I didn't mind drinking it straight. And if I really wanted to, I could have drank the rest of the glass, honestly. It certainly was not undrinkable. It was very drinkable, without a doubt. If it was undrinkable, I would have said so. But yeah, certainly drinkable straight. Pretty nice to drink straight as well, though not as nice as other bottles I've had. Not nice enough for my personal preferences, but very good when mixed with Dr. Pepper, and I imagine some other sodas as well. I think this would be pretty solid with something like, let's say, a IBC root beer, or maybe I'd have to say, ginger ale, or ginger beer, excuse me. I think it could be pretty solid with any of those, frankly put. Overall, Mellow Corn, pretty solid to drink straight, pretty solid as a mixer as well. As a whiskey to drink straight, I think it's very much that of a mid 3 out of 4, like a 3.5 out of 4. Really, really, really good value for money, good packaging, but nothing insanely, like, over the top. It's nothing insanely amazing kind of thing. It's just a very solid whiskey that gets the job done at a very reasonable price. Like 3.5 out of 4 for drinking it straight is very reasonable. But when you add in that it's pretty good as a mixer as well, it's going to be getting like a, I'm going to have to say it's getting a 3.7, 3.8 out of 4, which is a very solid rating. 3.7, 3.8 out of 4 for the Mellow Corn Straight Corn Whiskey. That's my final rating. I like Mellow Corn, and it is a great mixer with Dr. Pepper. And I have my, I have faith that I will enjoy drinking the rest of the bottle, mixed in with Dr. Pepper or other sodas. And I have faith that I may end up buying another bottle of Mellow Corn again, because it's only $20 for 750 milliliters, and it pairs great with Dr. Pete. I don't mind it. I don't mind it by any means. No complaints on my behalf. Let me tell y'all what. I'm going to go and finish this off, and then finish off the video. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I drank Mellow corn whiskey for the first time. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of Mellow corn whiskey. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to know y'all's thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video today, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. If you guys have, of course, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my website, and everything like that all in the description down below. Go check it all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?